If you are new here to Geekdom 101, make sure you subscribe and enable all notifications by hitting the bell, and also make sure your devices have notifications for YouTube turned on so you don't miss a single video when they drop. On this channel, we discuss all things Dragon Ball, movies, manga, and anime, and much more, and I thank you for 8 years of support. Now let's get to the video. First of all, before I get into this topic of the next Dragon Ball show, I want to thank all of the new subscribers who have jumped on the channel from the 1 million view Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta short that went out. Welcome. Here we talk about Dragon Ball manga, anime, and the movies, and some video game stuff too. My name is Danny. This is Geekdom 101, and I got lots of content on this channel for you to watch, almost 3,000 videos. But what we're talking about today is what's coming next. I want to address these rumors of a big Dragon Ball announcement coming next month, because I think a lot of folks are hearing different things and seeing different things, and I want to give my thoughts. Originally, I was not going to address this, and I'll explain why. I will explain why later in the video, but I do want to talk to y'all about it to kind of weed out what's true and what's not. So first and foremost, I want to go all the way back to January. Let's go back to January. During one of the Dragon Ball Victory Uchida streams on the official Dragon Ball website, Dragon Room head Akio Ioku was promoting Dragon Ball Superhero, and he said, as you can see right here on your screen, he says, there's also a chance that something other than the movie will be coming later this year. Right? Now, since then, Akio has not said anything. There's been no word from anybody in the production staff of Dragon Ball that has updated us on any of this. So he hasn't said anything else. But here we are. We're in mid-November, and we've only got about 6 weeks left. So time is ticking. Now, I want to address what the leakers have been saying, because that's really why y'all are here, because you're probably wondering, okay, what is going on here? First and foremost, I want to get to Spanku. Now, Spanku is a anime leaker, and he's been teasing more Dragon Ball. He actually said earlier in the year there's going to be new Dragon Ball coming along with Chronicles, and then later, Anime AJ stated that there is a web series in production. Now, what I said in my old videos is that I was aware of 2 projects being worked on, but I wasn't sure what they were. In other words, I assumed the 2 projects were the next movie, which is tentatively going to come out in 2024. That may change, but that's the tentative date. And the second thing is the an upcoming series, whether it be more super episodes or whatever the case may be. Didn't have any details on that, but different leakers are saying different things, and we have to discern through to see what's really going on. So first of all, Spanku's been talking about this, and he's kind of been teasing it. People like DBS Chronicles, a lot of different leakers have been talking about this. Legitimate ones who have gotten stuff right in the past. These guys have gotten things right in the past. Very few leakers are ever 100% accurate, because sometimes information gets fed through and things change. Like, for example, Dragon Ball Super in 2019, that changed. It happens. It happens all the time. There was a Digimon movie that was supposed to come out that was an anime first, then it got changed to a movie years ago. This happens all the time. But I want to get to where I'm going with this. So one of the things I've tried not to do is I do not want to lead any of my audience on as far as what's coming. A lot of guys, what they have been criticized of doing is they'll post a tweet, and then they'll be really cryptic about it. Oh, I've got a big surprise. Now, I've done that before too. I'm not going to lie. I've done it before, because when you get information about something that is behind the scenes, you can't just say it, because you may end up hurting a connection with somebody. You may end up hurting, a relationship. So you can't really say what you've heard. I've chosen to not do that as much anymore, if at all, because it's better to just wait and see. And I think that's a much better approach, because things change all the time in business. Now, besides Spanku's teases, I want to talk about DBS 2019. Now, this Twitter account popped up back in 2019, and he was saying the same thing that I was saying, which is that Dragon Ball Super was scheduled to come back in 2019. Then, of course, it got postponed. So, he actually backed me up as well in 2020, because I did a video back in 2020 where I basically took all the information that we had gotten based on what was coming and explained to everybody, okay, this is where we're at, this is what's happening, and that is what it is. That's what happened. He actually backed me up on that. Now, I want to state about DBS 2019. I don't know this guy. Like, I know the account, but I don't know the person behind the account. When it comes to leakers, I do have a relationship with some of them. I would say most of them, as far as like we talk on the DMs, we sometimes exchange information. I don't really know DBS 2019, but I know that he has had my back in the past. He's also said something way back that was incorrect, which I corrected him about way back about Kakarot. But again, that's not his fault, because he basically surmised something that made sense to him, but I had to explain to him that it wasn't the case. Don't worry about that, though. I don't think that takes away from his credibility. But again, I don't know him, and something we have to remember, guys, is that anybody can make a Twitter account and claim to have scoops. People do it on 4chan all the time, TikTok. So because we don't know who this person actually is, we don't know anything about them. But I don't have a problem with this guy, and the things that he has said in the past have come to fruition. So I'm not going to sit here and say he's not credible, because that's not what I believe. I just don't know him. So he writes, and I want to dive into what he says here. He says, a new Dragon Ball weekly anime will be announced roughly a month from now. To the best of my knowledge, this is not a direct continuation of Dragon Ball Super or an adaptation of the DBS manga to new things. So I want to dive into that for just a moment. One thing that he said in the previous tweet is that he's not going to go into whether or not it's a web series or whether or not it's an anime series or what it's actually going to be. It's going to be anime, obviously, but is it going to be on TV? Is it going to be on the web? That's the question. Anime AJ was stating that it's going to be on the web, and I trust him, so that makes sense. Now, again, 2 projects being worked on, so the eventual continuation of Dragon Ball Super, whenever that may be, is going to be down the pipeline, possibly next year. What he's talking about is not that this new Dragon Ball project will begin in December, but it'll be announced in December, right around the time the Dragon Ball Super Superhero 4K comes out in Japan. Now, I want to specify this, and I want to make it very clear to you guys what I'm about to say. I have not heard, me personally, I have not heard anything about the anime being announced next month. However, that does not mean that this guy's wrong. I don't know who he speaks to. It's none of my business. And honestly, it's rude to ask somebody who your source is, because no one's ever going to give out who their sources are, because we have to protect people that work in the business. You're just never going to get that out of us. It's not going to happen, because it would be unethical, and it would be wrong, and it would cost us a lot and cost that person a job. So I'm not going to ever ask this dude who he talked to. But other leakers are kind of validating him. And the issue that I'm trying to kind of make you guys aware of here, listen to what I'm saying, is that what I don't want to have happen is I don't want to have what's called confirmation bias. When Dragon Ball Super, when I talked about the anime coming back in 2019, me, Yonko Productions, and Anime AJ were the first ones to discuss it publicly. Then all of a sudden, a bunch of other people started talking about it coming back, saying they had sources. I knew for a fact that some of these people didn't have anything. I knew it. I'm not going to say who, I'm not going to talk about it, but it became this thing where there was a lot of confirmation bias. And what I'm trying to do this time is not fall into that hole of saying, okay, this could be true, it could not be true. I'm just telling you point blank the God's honest truth. I have no reason to lie to you about any of this. I have not heard that it's getting announced next month. He's saying it is, and I'm not saying he's wrong. He even said that if he's wrong, he'll delete his Twitter account, which deleting a Twitter account when it's anonymous is not that big of a deal, but he's definitely confident in this being the case. Now, the question that's probably on a lot of you guys' mind, which I'm going to actually do a whole stream with y'all about this. The question that's probably on your mind is, well, if it's not DBS, what is it? What could it be? And there have been some people speculating on what it could be. And I'm going to tell you what it's not going to be. Okay? This project is not going to be a remake of Dragon Ball and Z. Some people have thought they're going to remake Dragon Ball and Z. I don't think that's happening, because I've directly asked about that. And I do believe that someday in the future, I'm not saying like next year, I'm talking about like way down the road, we're probably going to get a brand new adaptation of the Dragon Ball manga. like with new animation, like from scratch, right? But that's way down the road. That's not planned at all right now. What could this be? It could be a spin-off series. It could be a series about the past, like old school Saiyans. It could be about Jocko, but it's a weekly series. But he's not going into whether it's going to be a web series or not. I think whenever the time comes for Dragon Ball Supers to continue and actually we get the Moro arc and everything like that, I think that when that happens, I think then it'll be on television. It'll probably be right back to the original time slot where it was at right before One Piece. But this, whatever this is new. And again, he's not the only one who's been saying it. But I do feel like on Twitter, there's been some confirmation bias. I've seen some accounts put little teases about Super coming back. And I am unsure if the people who are, not everyone, but some of them, I'm unsure if they really know or if they're just bouncing off of this guy. That's why I'm coming on this video, just being straight up honest with you, saying, look, I haven't heard anything, but that does not mean it's not true. That does not mean it is not true, and I'm not calling this dude a liar or saying his sources are bad. I'm just saying I haven't heard it. He obviously has different people he talks to. I've heard of 2 projects, but I haven't heard of an announcement date. Now, right now, Dragon Ball's dry because there's no manga, and this new thing could be what it could be, because he's saying it's not a DBS manga thing, so it could be something that's related to the manga, right? Or something totally different. I think it's gonna be something totally different. Now, I'm excited. I've seen some people say, damn, I wanted Super to come back. It's coming. That's later on. But this could be something fresh, something new. It could be a side story with other characters. It could be a story that takes place after Superhero. It could be way in the past. It could be another Bardock. It could be a lot of different things. The universe of Dragon Ball is so big that they could do a lot of things. They could do a show where you have like an examination of the different universes and the different characters in them and their adventures. It could be a hit show. That there's so many things that it could be. So many things. So leave a comment down below and let me know what you think they're going to be. But I wanted to cover this on the channel because y'all are going to be asking about it, and I do my work here on YouTube. So to reiterate, Akio Ioku himself said there's a chance something other than the movie is coming this year. He's not talking about video games or manga. I've already explained that to you guys in previous videos. He's talking about something else. He didn't say a TV show or a movie, so a web series could make sense, and that would be a way to drive traffic to the official Dragon Ball website. But again, Akio said it. He's the boss. Him and Toriyama are the bosses. So that tells me, brother, you got 6 weeks left in the year. You better hurry up. So time is running out. Anyways, that's all the information I have for you today. I will do a follow-up video and stream, maybe even this weekend. I got to see what's going on, but thank you for your support. Welcome to the new people. Remember to hit the notification bell if you're subscribed, because you want to make sure all the videos come in, because news could break at any moment, and there could be I have a lot of great content coming for you very soon. Promise you it's going to be great. Take care of yourself and each other. I'll see you soon.